It's John and Rachel. Welcome back to Yajagoff late night here, and we are doing this. Remember, at 5000 McKnight Road. You're always welcome to come here as we do live to tape 5:30 to 6:30 every Friday night. Then it goes up right now when you're seeing us.
And I love that we can hear some of the laughter, some of the people talking, chatting it up. They are talking about the Steeler game, not gonna lie. That's the topic. Yeah. That seems to be the
and
thread
nobody's
tonight.
fist fighting at
no
this
one,
point.
yeah, they're all kind of on the same side.
Right.
Because our guests are stellar. Tracy completely knocked herself out. But before we tell you who our guests were, John may have had, we sort of both, it was a collab. Yeah. Will we give ourselves that? Yeah. A collab. Mm-hmm. We may have had the best question ever. It's been question of the day. It's been going on and on and on and on. When you say you are about to shower, and don't say shower, but when you are about to, are you jumping in the shower? Or are you?
Hey, I'm jumping in the shower. Am I getting into the shower? Am I going to the shower?
Yeah.
Taking a shower?
Yeah.
But so far, jumping in the shower
so funny.
is winning.
So tell us what you think. We want to know. You can actually comment on the feed. We want to hear what you have to say about our question of the day. Meantime, stellar cast, starting with the one and only Pittsburgh royalty, Sally Wiggin.
Sally Wiggin with no S, as we learned that the hard way a long time ago. Dave Hanson from the movie Slapshot. Who
he has an S.
Here.
Hanson.
Yes, right. Not Hansons, though.
Yeah.
And he's not one of those musical guys. And Matt Light, comedian who has a show coming up. And we have the Jagoff Polka Band finally coming back to our podcast. They're always with us at the Pierogi Fest. But also reminding you, as you're watching, if you like it, please share it. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're listening to it on the podcast or the radio, make sure you download it, share it, and subscribe to it.
All that good stuff. Yeah, and you can check it out all through the week because we have little clips that remind you about it. Yeah. Meantime, thanks obviously to Q92.9 for us being right here in the studio. Thanks to Dryer Vent Wizard because that is who brings us all the fun G-Chets and Where Ya Ats that you need to check out. You'll see them through the show as well as on our social media.
All right.
And
well,
now, what was on
blogs?
the blog?
Okay, yeah. I thought you were, yeah. So anyways, what was on the blog? The wedding dad was on the blog. Guy threw a party.
Okay, wait, you named
wedding
him that,
party?
Right?
What?
You named him that. Like, he's not like Pittsburgh dad, wedding dad.
Right.
Okay,
He's the wedding dad. Yeah. So 2 years ago, he threw a wedding party for his daughter, and now he owes people a lot of money because he bounced some checks. And his trial was this week. So, everybody remembers a wedding for so many things.
Yes.
And I don't think this is one of them you're supposed to have.
It's a lot of money to be
And also, this week, we started off our spelling contest again. Go to a Michael's, go to any craft store, any place that has stockings hanging out with letters on them, spell Jagoff or Yajagoff, and tag us in it because we will give a prize to the best one.
I don't think it has to be stockings. It's just spell it out,
stockings.
Holiday time.
The first one was up today. It was in chocolate.
Oh, chocolate. That's right. Mm-hmm. All right. And then my debut as a singer with the B.B.I. Bastard Bearded Irishman.
Right.
That was so much fun. Tracy didn't watch the video all the way through because if you did, you would see that I actually had a cameo singing a little song. So super stoked for that. Actually, you can check them. This is sort of part of our 4-1 to-dos, right? Mm-hmm. Check the Bastard Bearded Irishman out tomorrow night at...
Yeah, at the Thunderbird Cafe.
I almost said Club Cafe, and you would have gone to the wrong place.
Bottom line is, if you're listening to the podcast, you probably missed it. If you're watching it on Friday night, like you should be, you could still go see them.
Here's what you haven't missed. Make sure you go to our website and order our coffee or our ornament. This year's 6th year parking chair ornament. It's amazing, has a stellar story, and we want you to have it on your tree. Also, last but not least, Mikey O'Malley collecting items for toys next Saturday.
Super easy.
Kappa.
You could drop off at Kappa. Just drive by and drop by.
All John, right. We have to go get with these people.
Let's get it.
I can't wait. Stay with us on Yajagoff Late Night.
Rach, I have to vent. Here's my dryer vent. This one time, I found a Lee press-on nail in my dryer stuff, and it was not mine.
Vom in the throat. One time, my kids left Kleenexes from one of their worst whooping coughs in their pocket.
Guys, you guys are such jagoffs. That's not the type of dryer venting we're talking about. We professionally clean your dryer vent to increase your dry time and save you guys some money.
For 4 hours. Wet, like 10 pounds
you
wet.
Jagoffs, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
People used to celebrate hard work, the spirit of the underdog. You don't hear too much about those things anymore. The world needs more problem solvers. People who know results matter. Folks with brains and elbow grease. Our work runs through just about every office building in the city like a network of veins. It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are.
It's John and Rachel Yajagoff Late Night, and we're back. And I forgot to mention my sweatshirt, by the way.
Oh, look at you.
You know, Chelsea and Channing?
Yes, from Made in PGH.
It is. Yeah, no, they are Bits and Pieces Creative over there. So I appreciate them giving me my sweatshirt. Doesn't even matter because I don't matter at all because we have, as you said earlier, Pittsburgh royalty here.
Yeah, Sally Wiggin. Welcome back. We were reminiscing
the
about...
only royalty I am is I rose from the dead.
Oh, please. We were just talking. We think the last time we saw you was one of our porch tours maybe 4 years ago. That's crazy that it's been that long.
That was only 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
we think it was 4 because it was right around. Remember, we were outside because of COVID.
Yes.
And a mask was not required. It was
it
optional.
was coming in.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we were far enough apart.
Yes.
Do you remember how frightened we all were back then?
Oh
or
my
some
gosh.
people weren't.
Oh, we all, well, most people. Yeah, you hope, right? You hope.
Oh, no.
So true. Sally, we do reference you as royalty because you have done so much for our city. You're a
because
treasure.
I'm old.
No, not at all.
I think, we always talk to like folks in the news and radio business and that TV and radio business that a lot of them are passing through, right? But some are along the way. Pittsburgh snatches a few really good ones and gets them to stay here. And that happened with you, which is super cool. And then you continue to represent the city so well. You sit on boards, you're active in the community.
You're very kind. No, you're way too kind. I think the reason I stayed, because there was a chance to go to New York. It was 1986, and WCBS offered me a job. And I was dating somebody, and he was working for our station. And I actually made the decision based on him, and within 2 years we had broken up. So I made a decision based on that. And the other thing, but I think what happened, they had not had me start doing the Monday night, Sunday night football games at that point. Then they did. That would have never happened at WCBS.
Yes,
or if I had gone from WCBS to CBS,
Sure.
that would not have happened. So I got to cover football. I got to cover hockey. And the only reason I went into this business from graduate school was because I wanted to do sports.
Wow.
I didn't want to do news.
Right.
I wanted to do sports, but then I thought it was easier to get a job at a television station if you started in news. And so, I love and the sports landscape here is just
jackpot, right?
Supreme.
Yeah, for
exactly,
sure.
Exactly.
So it wasn't initial, right? Did you always loved sports, and coming into this town, it was like, wow, this was sort of the icing on the cake kind of thing.
Well, my family's all from a different part of the country.
Okay.
And they cheer for a team that you guys hate.
Oh boy.
Hate. New England.
Oh, yeah.
I was a Patriot fan
my.
early on.
I love that you said was. Are you still sort of?
Do you remember, does anybody here remember Russ Francis?
No.
Oh my gosh. He played for the Patriots. He was a tight end.
Right.
He was amazing. He was very handsome.
Okay.
I judge my players.
Okay, fair enough. That's okay.
No, I think, but my father died when I was young, but my mother just loved football. My love for football came from college, but also from my mom. I would sit and watch football games with her.
Are you a screamer, throw things kind of thing, or you sit and watch it kind of strategically when you're watching? Are you animated?
In a press box.
Okay.
Media box. I hate to say press box.
Yes.
Media box. I don't know if people know that you're not supposed
Right.
to cheer.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot cheer.
Right.
Because it's and if somebody does yell, they'll announce this is a working press box.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's fair. And
Yes.
so I learned a lot. I also learned how to watch plays develop from up that high. And so I actually did develop a better understanding. football is I don't want to say militaristic, but it's very complicated. It's like drawing up battle plans. It really is. And when you're up high in the media box, and I'm sure you guys have been, you really do understand why they put the press box there, because you see everything develop, and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's
but
fascinating.
when you're at home, are you throwing things?
I feel like no.
No.
Do you still pretend you're in a press box so that you're more...
No, the only time I throw things no, actually what I do sometimes is I turn it off.
Oh, is that
yes.
right?
I
Walk
turn
away.
it off.
Like a walk
I mean,
away.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to put my hands over my eyes. I'll turn it off if I'm getting nervous, and then I'll turn it right back on to see what happened.
Okay.
And I'm taping it. I have a friend. She's the woman. Her name. I was just talking to her on the way over. She's the one who suggested me to host our Monday night and Sunday night football specials.
Okay.
And she was the head of production, and she knew that I had been married to a former Major League Baseball player, and he'd played college football. She also knew I knew a lot and she was the one who suggested that I be a co-host at our football specials. I was just talking to her on the way over and
Wow.
telling
How
her
funny.
I was going to be.
Yeah.
And thanks to her, I got to do these. And I went to 4 Super Bowls. The one in Scottsdale that was against Dallas, we lost that one. And oh my God, Larry Thomas, who was the guy in the secondary who actually was most valuable player. He had how many interceptions? Neil O'Donnell on 2, I think.
I'm not...
Larry Brown, that's it.
There
Larry
you go.
Brown.
See?
Thank you.
Thank
Larry.
God we have a
That's it.
studio
Okay.
audience.
Yeah. And then the next one was the Detroit one, and then the Green Bay one. Ooh, that was ugly. Wait, I went to 4. What would be the other one? Oh, whoa. Arizona.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
And when
Where Santonio made the big catch.
yeah, but also
right?
it was where James Harrison.
Yes.
Oh, James Harrison
Almost
was the
didn't
starter.
make it
Yeah,
the length
yeah.
of the
That's what
field.
it was.
Remember,
Right.
he had
Yes.
the interception.
What a
yeah, that was
play.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry, we're just
No.
it's
But
just-
Sally, you're known for obviously being the queen of media, as well as sports, as well as the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium. Every time we're there, you're there.
Well, that's the other thing. I wanted to be a zoologist.
Okay, so one
I
of
mean,
those
from the time I was little.
Yeah, if
Wow.
you didn't do this, you'd do that kind of thing.
Well, but I was going to have to take calculus.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. No zoology
And
here.
Do you know how many? And it's funny because this is going to sound so sexist, but women sometimes are afraid of math. And I was
Same, yeah.
I was one of those. It was like I'll never get into grad school. I'll never get into veterinary. I wanted to either do veterinary school or get a doctorate in zoology. So this was my way of engaging, and I had been here long enough that I know what it was. I came back from my second trip to Africa. It was 1995, and someone came to me and said, we'd like to have you on the board of the zoo. So I've been on, there's only one other person who's been on this current board longer than I have. and only
Wow,
about
I
a
didn't
month.
realize that.
Yeah, I've been on it. I think they want me to be gone.
No, I'm sure not. I think they're
They'll have
thrilled
to
that you're
drag
there.
me. They'll have
Favorite
to-
animal at the zoo?
Elephants. Elephants are my favorite.
Is that right?
But they've been my favorite, and they can be Asian elephants or African elephants. I love them both. And I was in India this year, and we saw I saw lots of wild Asian elephants, not the ones that have been tamed. But there's another, my second favorite creature. We used to have them. We don't anymore because of an accident. But I love African painted dogs.
Oh,
I
right.
love them.
Yeah.
They're super, super smart, but we lost them
Yeah.
because of that.
Right.
And it's understandable why.
Sure.
Now you just came back from a polar bear trip, though, right?
I love polar bears. They're
Okay.
my second or third favorite.
I love that you have that many.
No. Do you ever do lists This is what happens when you
This is
become
my family.
old.
No,
when
my
you
family
become
does
old,
this.
and you make lists. I have a list of movies that are my favorite movies. I have a list of books, and I have a list of animals. And then sometimes if I like something more, then I'll switch the list around. It's called being obsessive. and no, I elephants first. Now polar bears. Polar bears have moved to second, and the reason I love polar bears is because if there's any animal that's just going to kill you without thinking twice about it, it's going to be a polar bear.
And they're so cute, right? We go.
No, they are not cute. Trust me. When you know what they can do, oh my God, they will stalk a human for miles waiting, and their sense of smell is extraordinary.
Wow.
And they do kill people.
Okay.
Wow. Well, there you go. So Sally,
Everybody says they're so cute, and
They
I'm like,
are from a
well,
from a distance.
What are you
I guess.
working on right now? Just sort of lists,
Nothing.
hanging out, that kind of thing.
watching the Steelers.
Watching the Steelers. Well,
no, actually, we are. I'm working with the zoo.
Okay.
There are some looking toward the future, how we're going to make it better, and we're actually. I'm having a meeting with some people who are going to interview us about what we think. So how to make it bigger, more. When I mean bigger. Exhibits
Okay.
that are really animal friendly,
Gotcha.
and fundraising, expanding the footprint. Also, I work with some other nonprofits that are in Africa and India, and so that's mainly what
Okay.
I'm doing. So,
That's a
but
great thing to be doing.
I also am on the board of the Caring Place.
Oh, yeah.
the founding
another
board
wonderful
member.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost my dad when I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a perfect fit. Helping children who've lost a loved one
Yeah.
or a parent, help them negotiate childhood and,
Yeah.
and adolescence. And so
It's
I love that
relatable, right?
organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sally, we love having you. We want to have you more often, but we do have to ask two of our biggest questions that we ask on every show. One, did you bring us a gift for our junk drawer? And I know that you did because I'm
brought
sort of
two.
looking. I
All
love
right,
this.
I have
let's
two
see.
gifts.
Okay. All right. Describe them, please, Sally Wiggin.
Okay, this is a toothbrush. This is a toothbrush.
Listen, John,
And
those are all things that you have in your car.
This is how you clean the toothbrush, which I would never do. Why bother?
So for those listening to the podcast, there's like three
then
plastic
here-
parts
It's a
that Sally's
case.
putting
Wait,
together.
Yeah.
There you go. She just gave
And then
up
she
on
gave
it.
up.
She's
And
like,
then
throw this in
this-
your junk drawer.
This is my dog's name. Her name is Latin. It's Vici von
Vici.
Pero. Vini, Vidi,
Yeah.
Vici. I saw Vicky or Vici. It depends on if it's Italian or
Okay.
Latin. Her name is Vici, which means conquer.
Conquer, yeah.
And that's appropriate because she could conquer you in a second. If I asked her to, she
Okay.
would bite you.
Well, let's hope she doesn't,
Well,
John.
it's her and
Better
the
play
polar
your
bear.
cards right. You know?
She and the polar bear.
So, and this is what they at the groomer they put
Okay.
that on.
I love that. These are great gifts. I appreciate.
Oh, am I
them.
supposed to give them to you?
Oh yeah, we keep.
Oh, you can
That
take
was
them
not
back. That's
explained.
okay.
Look at her face.
Yeah,
She's like,
especially
no.
take the.
You don't
Yeah.
want the two.
Dave
yeah, right.
Hanson is
Dave Hanson's
Dave Hanson
heckling
is
Sally.
yelling from the cheap
peanut
seats.
gallery. My buddy Dave.
Sally, I actually heard you talking about this. Our question of the day is sort of funny, but you were talking to Monica about a series, and the question is, what is, in your opinion, the very best series that's on right now? Or what are you watching that you truly think is one of the best series? And clearly, it's not necessarily a network show. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
For All Mankind.
Oh, that's what. Yes, that's what.
But that's
you guys
what I'm
were talking
watching.
about.
But I have to admit,
You don't
I
love
am
this-
Such a Yellowstone fan.
Oh yeah, people say that.
Yeah.
I've not gotten into
I
that.
mean, I love Kevin Costner. I
Yes.
do.
Yeah, how can you
and
not?
what is his Cole Hauser? What is his name? Rip. I love Rip.
I never watched it. Did you, John?
I have
You haven't seen
Uh,
Yellowstone?
John hasn't seen. Ready for this? The Godfather. Microphone drop, Sally Wiggin.
apologize.
Get that
Right?
face right
No,
now.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it.
No.
Never seen any of them.
Oh my
I feel like
gosh.
I've seen them all because I've seen so many clips and heard so many quotes. Like I kind of have.
But you have.
They're
seen
not.
the movie
They're
by
not
proxy.
my favorite film of all time. It's one of the greatest films of all time, and it changed my life. And I was only 11 years old when I saw it. I should not have seen it because it was extremely violent. My mother took me to see it at 11. It's Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, okay.
With Peter O'Toole. It is one of the great films
Absolutely.
of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Sally Wiggin, it is an honor to have you here
Truly.
at Yajagoff Late Night. We appreciate you're in under the single-digit episodes as well. Like we're not even at double digits yet. We're
We
at
need to
episode
get
number
you on
9.
more. Yeah.
So this is super cool. So we have to make sure we get you back. But
You guys are amazing.
Oh,
you
thanks.
ask fabulous questions.
oh well,
you.
thank you. Wow, that's very kind of you. Well,
Did you guys get
No,
that
it's
on
not.
video?
Not being kind. I'm being honest.
and she's like,
Kind
you're not
is-
getting my
kind,
stuff.
Kind is not in my wheelhouse.
It is Yajagoff Late Night.
Ask my ex-husband and
There you go.
ex-boyfriends.
Yajagoff Late Night. Dave Hanson
Stop it, Dave.
This has never
is
happened.
next. Dave Hanson from the movie Slapshot. Yajagoff Late Night.
PittsburghUsedCars.com. With hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city, we provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com. Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
Following through on one of my favorite traditions, and it's the Mancini bread art. So this is the first installment. This is a tribute to the Christmas story. If you can see it, you can also, it's interactive. You can jump behind it.
Interactive, yeah. I know you and I talked and you said it's the 40th anniversary, right, of A Christmas Story.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yajagoff Late Night. This is probably the most active, other than episode 1. The audience has been
Participation.
I love the fact
Unprompted.
It is. Nobody's even worried about playing Pac-Man. They're just worried about heckling each other, which is great. So, but when someone yells from the background, you go like, "I'm going to go fight that person." Then you turn around and see who it is. It's Dave
That
Hanson.
guy.
You go, "No,
Yeah.
I'm just going to get my car and leave."
That's right.
So, Dave Hanson, welcome to the Yajagoff podcast. Yajagoff Late Night, as a matter of fact.
Well, to put me on after Sally Wiggin, we are going to fight. That's a tough act to follow.
I just love your demeanor, and I do not know how it has taken us this long. This is the first time you've ever been with us. I mean,
Really
we've seen
is.
you at RMU.
Yeah.
We've done some fun videos with other people, but nothing like this that we really get to chat with
Probably
you.
because John has known me for years.
That's
That's
it.
probably a
Yes.
reason why. I don't know how you talked him
That
into
i-
it, but I'm sure it's got a lot to do with it.
What I love most about your story is the fact that you, like so many people who have become Pittsburghers, you have really taken stake here. You love it, right? This has become
do.
your home. Yeah. How long, for people who don't know, how long have you been here?
That's a good question. I think somewhere around 93, I think I moved here, 93, 94, yeah.
Okay.
So, and the great thing about all that is, when I'm fall into the category of the journeyman hockey
Sure.
player, right? And when I finally settled down, I thought I was settling down. It was still 3 or 4 moves before I ended up in Pittsburgh, after I got out of hockey. So the nice thing about it is I had a connection already, just simply having started out my professional career in Johnstown and marrying a local girl and having family and stuff. So it all worked. It just worked great, and it's been a great place to raise my family. So
That's great. That's what
it.
we love here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place. I went to school in Johnstown, so I love
Oh,
that
did
we
you
have that
really?
in common also. Yeah,
So we
obviously
probably
Pitt.
frequent as many bars. To,
I didn't
together.
go. Please, I didn't underage drink. I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, I
right.
bars.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Dave, I think the cool thing is that everybody, if they don't know, they know you from the movie Slapshot, right? And I can't remember what the number is, but in the movie, I think the Hanson brothers are only civilian. They're like 13 or 17 minutes total in the movie or whatever it is. But you guys were the biggest thing to come out of the movie, and you're continuing to kind of, keep that going. How cool is that, even when NHL players who weren't even born when that movie came out still come up, know it and pay tribute to that legendary movie?
Well, the best thing about Hanson Brothers after the movie, which was after stopping my professional career and getting into civilian life, was that we kind of frequently ended up on the road together doing stuff. And so we would go into, I'll use Madison Square Garden as an example. We're out there Zamboni skiing and doing all the, getting dumped out of the Zamboni in front of, the Madison Square Garden Ranger fans. And afterwards, we're getting pulled down into the locker room because Gretzky, Messier, Kovalev, Graves, all these guys want to get pictures taken with us, And Kovalev puts on the glasses, if you remember Kovalev, true Russian. I'm a Hanson brother now. I'm a Hanson, and so that just went on. And so there was so many great benefits to being a Hanson brother, other than having all the chicks love the glasses, being chick magnets. That it's been a blast. It's just been a blast.
Yeah.
And the movie was in what, 1970?
Came out in 77, February 77.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to still have it be that, that's what people go to. It's the go-to thing, right? Do you still get that? You are the executive director, correct, at RMU?
Right.
At Island Sports Center. And so I've seen you kind of go through and watch people kind of do the, oh, that's him. Yeah. So is that a conversation that you literally have daily with people coming through?
I don't know that it's daily, but it's quite frequent. Obviously, I'm in the world where a Hanson brother, everybody knows the Hanson brother because of all the hockey stuff that goes on. So it's fun, And really the fun part is it's the parents that come up to me and say, well, my kid hasn't seen it, but do you know who that is?
Yeah.
And then, get a picture with them. And
then they're going home that night and probably watching it.
Yeah, but I'll ask, a little 7-year-old, have you seen the movie? They go, oh, yeah, I saw it all. And I'll go, where's your mom and dad?
Yeah.
That's child abuse for
And I think
sakes.
that's the first time anyone has said I like parents, especially in the hockey world, because hockey parents are not easy parents, right?
Yeah.
So, Dave, memories from the movie. I know you have a book, Putting on the Foil. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have a bunch of stories on it.
It's a coloring book. That's why.
But, no, we're not going to ask you who your favorite kid is or your favorite story is, but just reflect a little bit on Paul Newman, because I think I've had the luxury of hanging out with you and just hearing some stories, but just what a good guy he was, and for you guys to come across a celebrity of that magnitude so early.
Yeah, and I tell this to everybody, and I don't say this without sincerity, he was one of the most wonderful people I've ever met. He come on the set. If you didn't know that he was the superstar movie star, the guy, you wouldn't know he's the guy. He was just a regular Joe, coming in T-shirt, loafers, drinking his iced coffee. Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And until he got in front of the movie camera, you didn't know how good he was, the kind of person he was. And he always was pulling practical jokes. And, when the superstar is pulling a practical joke on you, you're thinking, oh, geez, I better go along with it, and I won't do anything back at him. Well, that was complete opposite. We would stick it to him. We'd give it to him, and he'd have a blast. And I'll share a quick story as an example. So he stayed at the Sheraton Hotel, but also stayed at one of the doctor's houses up in Westmont. So he would stay down at the hotel when we had overnight long night shots and stuff like that. And he had his own little sauna built just for him, because he was a pretty good beer drinker. He would hang out with us. We're 20 years old yet. He's 53 or 51, and he'd stay up with us, and then he'd have to be on the set next morning. So I think he would hit the saunas in the morning and jump in the pool, and bang, he's out there fresh. And so we're all out in the hotel bar one night, him not being it because he is up at the doctor's office, and we came up with this great idea. Let's go in the back room and we'll get these huge bags of popcorn, and we filled this sauna full of popcorn. Right? And so the next day was a night shot. He comes down, he's staying at the hotel, and we're waiting the next morning to hear about it. Doesn't say a word. And it goes on for another day, doesn't say a word. And
so you're waiting, right?
We're waiting, and we're thinking, what the heck? So we're shooting a scene in Latrobe. It's a late night scene. It's on the buses. We're jumping off the bus, mingling with the Booster Club bus, and of course we're having a few pops because it's taken a long time. And all of a sudden we say to Paul, hey, we got a great idea. Yeah, what? He says, hey, let's take all our clothes off. And when the buses pull up together and we're supposed to run out and we're supposed to grab the Booster Club women and this and that, we'll have a lot of blast. They'll think it's pretty fun, right? And he says, I think that's a great idea. Action. We're rolling. We strip down. We go running off. We're in front of the cameras. And nobody's around here. We can't see Paul. We don't see anybody. And we look around, and I swear to God, the whole tunnel of Latrobe is there. Grandma, grandpas, grandchildren. Because we thought it was only going to be the camera guy and a few people because it was so late at night, right? And we go, oh my gosh. And we look around, and Newman's hanging out the window. He says, "Payback's a bitch, boys."
That's so good.
And that's the way it was through the whole movie. He was like that. I mean, there's other instances, but that was a capture.
Dave, as we're winding down here, I hate it that we have to wind down, but first of all, I think we should kudos to you for Robert Morris and what you've done for the state of hockey in the Western Pennsylvania area. Like, not only have you kind of brought it all up, with the Penguin success and everything, but you yourself helped bring back hockey to Robert Morris, which is super cool. Oh, you leveraged some friends it's super cool. So congratulations to you, and thanks for doing that, for bringing D-level hockey back, right?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, Division I hockey in Pittsburgh, Robert Morris is the only one, in the area, and it went on that hiatus, unfortunately, for a couple of years. But it wasn't only me, but it was a lot of fun to be part of and to see the success of having the program come back.
But you can feel it now, walking in there, having children who play. When I go in there, you can see it from just a little bit of the cosmetic things that are a little bit better, and the signage that's a little bit more amped, and just that feel, that positive vibe. It's really reignited.
Yeah, and the thing about the Island Sports Center, and I'm not self-promoting, but
go for it.
We literally have the ability to take a never-ever novice child and run them right up to the highest level.
For sure.
And go on to a collegiate career. That path, if that's a path they choose to take.
Marion Watkins, all the educators.
Oh my gosh.
They're all NHL level. All right, we have to move this along.
Here's my next question. Did you bring a toothbrush?
Did you bring something for our
I'm a hockey player. We don't brush our teeth.
Where
did you get that idea?
You brush the side ones only. Right. So what do you have for our junk drawer?
Okay. So obviously,
I love this.
Chiefs puck.
I had no idea what you
Yeah.
I know. And then
now John thinks it's Christmas, but go ahead.
When I got asked, I had no idea to bring something. I was clueless.
You're
what
like,
are you
that's
talking about?
tacky.
So I dug down in the junk drawer. So I have no idea what this is.
Hysterical.
Oh, it looks like
it's
like one of those things you get out of the grocery store machine, right?
Well, it's out of one of our arcade machines at the island, and I haven't opened it, so I'll leave.
We don't even know what it is.
And you'll be expensing that to your boss.
That is classic. All right, so we now have to ask, first of all, where does everybody find you and follow you online?
I am not a social media guy.
All right, Robert Morris.
So if you want to see me, follow me. Just
come down.
Any
follow
day of the week.
Into the restroom.
Right.
From your office to the restroom.
And make sure, if you are interested, please go to the island, because so many different programs are available there. Yeah, it's a great place.
It's a great. As an old employee of mine, an associate used to say, we sell fun there.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Fun and good times.
Absolutely. All right, question is.
Do it.
What series currently are you watching that is the best there is?
Forged in Fire.
Oh.
Don't know.
Monica knows all of this.
Monica,
it's another good one.
Monica's telling us who has time on their hands.
Yeah.
Right. But all of her nodding.
No.
Yeah, she
okay.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a Forged in Fire guy. I mean, someday if I ever retire, I want to forge.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever retire.
Well, you come back. Well, we got to get the brothers back and get them to come to Pittsburgh and do her fundraiser. We'll have you guys all. That'd be great.
Easy enough.
Dave Hanson,
thank you so
much.
It's our pleasure. No, we're so happy that you were here. Thank you.
Matt,
and by the way, in case anybody's interested, I'm not drinking stinking root beer.
Well done. Matt Light, comedian. Next, Yajagoff Late Night.
Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
Welcome to Fanatic. Can I take your orders?
You need a tap it?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich, the cook. Here we go.
Let's dig in.
It's John and Rachel. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig.
I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
What's it feel like to be equipped? Equipped born, equipped bred. I bleed black and red till I'm dead.
I'll equip a football on a Friday night, especially in the playoff atmosphere, is a place you want to be.
When I'm on my way to the game, I like to stop in and grab my gear from Evil Lizard. Whether I need a hat, a hoodie, shirt, blanket, they got me covered. I stop here before I head up to Heinz Field. Heinz Field,
yes.
New stadium, a beautiful stadium.
Beautiful new stadium.
I understand you guys did some banners there.
We did all of the advertising banners there.
So how did that come about?
The president of the quarterback club came in and he liked our equipment over there and wanted to keep it local, so we worked with them on that.
Jagoff late night, and we're just squeezing everybody in tonight here, Rach.
Because when Tracy books 3 of the Pittsburgh's finest, you're trying to figure out how you can get more time. We need more than an hour.
Right.
That's what's going
on. So
on.
if you want to see a little bit more of our next guest, you can actually go backward on our timeline because you can see him doing a Toyota tailgate today.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt Light, comedian, welcome to you, Jagoff Late Night.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
I feel like we've been with you a lot. I'll take it.
Yeah, I love it, right? We're having a
You
good
make
time.
me feel younger. My kids have been like, oh, when the teachers tell them like they've listened to me, my kids do the eye roll. And then they were like, but our mom has been with Matt Light. I'm like, wow.
They like me?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Why are you letting them watch me?
I don't know. That's what I asked my husband.
We just had that conversation with Dave Hanson about the 7-year-olds watching Slapshot. Right.
Yeah, awesome movie, by the way.
Right. It is. So, Matt, before we even get started into what we really want to talk about, like your career and everything, but we have to remind everybody, Saturday, December 16th
there it
at
is.
Stage AE.
Not September.
You said September all day.
Right.
I was so hungover, I thought it was September, honestly.
Both of you were fine with that. They were like, we're going to
You have a show at Stage AE, the Ugly Sweater Show.
Yeah.
Who was all on that with you?
Bill Crawford,
Yeah.
Mike Zidell, and Ray Zawadny.
Yeah.
And Robbie Ink Mikowski for the Pirates is going to be there. Yeah.
It's
It's
so
a
crazy.
fun lineup. And
Yeah,
I
it's so
love the
much
fact-
fun.
You were just with us at our parade, and you were talking about like, we got to get tickets going, and literally within a week, you're up. You only have like 100 tickets left.
Yeah. We sold over 1,000 right now, and it's
That is awesome.
for Pittsburgh. It's phenomenal.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
I love hearing that. You deserve
Thank
that.
you, thank you.
It's a
thank you.
grind. You've worked at it.
It's hard too. Is I think like when you're a comedian, like it is like a business,
Sure.
So the promoting and all the marketing is such a pain.
Sure.
And sometimes you forget that you are a comedian. So like
Yeah.
for me, it's like the 4 months building up to this show
Yeah.
is the work. But when I get to go on stage, it's just fun. It's not
Yeah.
a job. You know what I mean?
What
For
are you
sure.
doing now to prepare the material? Like, how long are you going to do that night? And, I know comedians go work out all
Yeah.
the little clubs. Is that what you're doing right now, let alone trying to count tickets and figure out the logistics?
Yeah.
How many nights are you out doing material, or are you just home talking to your TV?
So as a comedian, we get material by having horrible lives. So I'm just a train wreck of a human right now where I'm saying yes to doing every single thing because if best case scenario, I have a great story in my life. It was a great moment. Worst case scenario, I get to talk about it on stage.
Yeah.
So I'm just going out, I'll be doing 45 minutes. You'll learn a lot about me growing up in Pittsburgh. You'll learn a little bit about my dad, and it's going to be a good time. Yeah.
Does your dad love this? Eats it up?
He does, but I think like the thing is a lot of things I talk about my dad, I would say half of it's not true.
Yeah.
And so like when I talk about like, so here's like,
then.
But like half of the times, like they'll talk to my dad and like, you really didn't go to your son's baseball games your whole life? And he's like, no, like I taught him, you know what I mean? Which he did. He was horrible at sports. Yeah, I threw.
But he was there for you.
He was, but not. He should have just stayed at home.
Gotcha.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Like I did the first pitch this year, and to me that was the coolest thing ever. Right? The
For
Pirates.
the Pirates?
Yeah. They gave me a full uniform, so I had pants from Chad Hermanson from 2003, which I fit into them, which I was like, I'm an athlete. I'm like, wait a minute. I looked him up. He's 6'3". I was like, oh, I'm just fat. I'm not an athlete. So like, I was nervous doing this first pitch because I'm like, if I do well, they're gonna sign me, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, right.
You'd be like the guy that walked on the
Right?
Eagles, right? Yeah.
So all week I'm like getting ready to do this, right? I'm throwing strike after strike. I'd say like 80% strikes, right? I go up there and I get on the mound and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh man, I'm shaking. Like, and as soon as it come out of my hand, it was that moment from A Christmas Story. When he drops,
Ralphie. Yes.
And I knew coming out, I threw it like 30 feet over Robbie's head. And I was like, oh no. And so like, it was so bad. And then what's even worse is I'm competitive. Like I legit thought they were going to sign 34-year-old Matt Light afterwards. Like, so I was like bummed out. My dad comes up to me all yinzer. He's like, hey, what you need to do is, and he's giving me advice. I'm like, it's the first pitch. I don't get to do this again.
Right, that's
like,
it. Yeah.
I'm not coming back after the pierogi race. So then like I go to watch the video. Like it took a couple days for my ego, right? And I watched the video, and I guess my buddy Ryan, who was filming it, was standing next to my dad. Because as soon as the ball goes over his head, all I hear is my dad go, he throws like a little bitch.
Okay, caveat. He asked if he could say that word because Dave Hanson said it.
So I was like, thanks, Dad. That was...
that's the memory you have on the video. Yeah.
That is hysterical.
That was so much fun.
But it was an amazing thing, and it's truly a testament to what you've become to our city. People love you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the gyrations of your career, like, I mean, let alone negotiating cancer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you're doing some wrestling stuff, and you did some TV stuff, and you're like the perfect example of what a comedian's doing to keep themselves relevant and be flexible.
You always have to redefine yourself. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the guy that's just this. You know, like when I was sick 10 years ago, I had to address that I had cancer. I was 60 pounds lighter. I had no hair. No, I looked like a glowworm. I had nothing on me, so I had to talk about it. But like as I got older, I was no longer the comedian with cancer.
Yes.
Finally they're like, oh, this is Matt. He's just a comedian.
Yeah.
He's not just the guy from Pittsburgh too.
Right.
Sure.
So you always have to find ways to redefine yourself. We did the wrestling thing, and that blew up, and I didn't even know it was going to. The story behind that was I was supposed to move to Los Angeles in 2016, and it was my going away show. And my girlfriend dumped me a week before.
I hate
and
her.
she's like, no, she's a sweetheart.
Oh,
okay. I was an idiot. I was young, you know what I mean?
I don't hate her.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a bad boyfriend, but like, who wants to hang out with us? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, my kids do.
Well,
So
that's awesome.
that.
We'll take. How old are they?
20 and 16.
I'll get them in the Jacks. We'll be fine. So I get dumped a week before, and now I'm not moving to LA with her. And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, how do I? There's 400 people saying goodbye to me. How do I?
And you're like psych.
Yeah, like do I pull a Wolf of Wall Street? I'm not leaving. You know what I mean? So Wintis, the GM at the time, goes, "Why don't I come out like wrestling? I'll Vince McMahon fire you, and the crowd will boo me." And I was like, "Yeah. What if I give you the Stone Cold Stunner afterwards?"
Oh my God.
Without hesitation, he goes, "Yeah, that's great." I was like, "Do we practice it?" He's like, "Nah, we'll figure it out." So I give him the Stone Cold Stunner. Yeah, I give him the Stone Cold Stunner, and somebody filmed it. I was on Good Morning America 3 days later.
Oh, my God.
I was doing stand-up for 11 years. Not a single joke ever went viral. But I flick off my boss and then chug beers on stage like, this guy's great.
But look what it led you to. We were just talking earlier today about the Berg Bus. I mean, kudos to Nick Walker and Kat.
Yeah, they're the
It's
best.
an amazing business. You know, shout out to them because it's great.
You have to take the Berg Bus with Matt Light. Look, you can take it with any one of the entertainers. But
Absolutely.
Matt Light is the rated R version. And
But I do PG though too.
You did?
Right.
Ish.
You did a PG.
It was PG-ish.
We handed out some beers to some people just randomly in the South Side with you. Yeah, that
They
was
knew you, though.
Anyways, take the Berg Bus tour because there's none better than Matt Light.
It's so much fun. It's pretty much tailgating on a bus.
You know
what I mean?
the tour of Pittsburgh. You do give some historical facts.
I do.
Which are questionable. But then
I didn't say they were true. I just tell you.
But then you yell at people on top of that, and you get people to
Tequila Cowboy. I was thrown out there last night.
You get people to lap dance. You get all kinds of stuff.
You get whatever you want.
And that's just the afternoon.
Yeah,
Right. You
that's
know,
it,
who
yeah.
knows what the night show is like.
The
We
night
don't
shows
try-
are wild.
I can't
Yeah.
do it. I literally don't think I could do it.
I think you would not like me after the night shows. I think you'd be
That's the
this guy's an
funniest
idiot.
thing is everybody
No, I
watching
would.
this, they know.
Yeah.
It's like watching Robin Williams. You watch him on Mark and Mindy. You go see him in concert. And you
Yeah,
go, whoa,
right.
Completely
whoa,
different.
whoa.
Yeah. Well, I know
So-
you thought I was like very like raunchy and whatever in real life, and the one time you guys interviewed me, you're like, "Hey, you're actually a nice person."
Did I pat you on the head? Was I
Yeah,
bad?
and I said, do you know that Johnny Depp wasn't a real pirate too? You know, like it's not a thing. Like his hands aren't knives. He doesn't have knives on his hands.
I was just about to give you more kudos. Zip that.
Matt, can we just relay one story because
Yes.
it's the interaction during your comedy show, which is funny.
Absolutely.
And I remember being I told you the story, Beer Hive, open mic night. You're standing in front of a beer cooler, and the guy's heckling you, and you say, and you
Bleep
say,
it.
this is my what do you call it, the cancer thing?
Make-A-Wish.
This is my Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
and that
Oh my
guy.
God.
I was like, you're ruining my Make-A-Wish, man. And the face, he just dropped.
Because who says that?
I know.
I know. He said I know.
I was like, every time you don't laugh, you're taking 6 months off my life. So now who's the jerk?
Too funny. Matt Light, where does everybody find you online?
You can find me on Instagram, Matt Light Comedy. That's where a lot of my followers are. TikTok, Matt Light. Twitter, Matt Light. Do not follow me on a Sunday. I just tweet about how much I hate the Steelers.
Right.
Yeah, just or today or Friday morning.
Oh, I still
after.
feel yesterday they wanted a blackout game.
Yeah.
I blacked out, so I was still feeling it.
December
right now.
16th, Stage AE.
Yeah.
People can still get a few tickets left. In the meantime, Matt, our question of the, you want the question of the day or you want the
What do you want
drunk
first,
drawer?
junk drawer?
You tell me. What do you want to do?
Junk drawer. Let's go
Alrighty.
junk drawer.
Let's
So
go,
I
JD.
brought a trading card. It's Shawn Michaels. He's my favorite professional wrestler.
Yeah.
He's actually a big influence on my stand-up. If
that
you
right?
watch how he is, he's very like arrogant. I'm better than you, but he's
Yeah.
not like that in real life.
Yeah.
And so for me, like it's like
That's what I have to learn.
I get to put on a cape.
Different.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
get to be that
Okay.
that Jagoff, that
Okay.
Shawn Michaels was.
I like it.
So
I
that's
like
for
it.
you guys.
Very cool.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
Like honored that you
Yeah.
got that. That's such a good gift.
Yeah.
All right. What series are you watching?
So I don't
Question
watch
the
a
day.
lot of TV.
Okay.
But I will say the last series I started watching was Yellow Jackets.
Oh.
And it is phenomenal. So Christina Ricci has been my celebrity
Phenomenal.
crush since Casper.
Okay.
I've loved her
Yeah.
the whole way, and her character just gets better and better
Yes,
and better. She
she's
steals
such
the
a
show.
good actress.
Phenomenal. Yeah, Yellow Jackets is
It
my
got
show.
a little really dark in the
Yeah.
last one, and I was like, I'm a little afraid. I don't know if I can watch it
I
anymore.
know. Yeah, it was interesting because I didn't expect that. I had no idea what I was going into.
Right.
I started watching it, and I was like, "This is a great show." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, they're eating people.
They're eating people.
They're high school soccer players now, like stuck near Seattle, just eating people."
Yeah, they had to. I mean, for survival. I just want to make that part clear. Yeah,
Okay,
they
but
had
but a lot of the stuff they didn't have to do.
Wait, this is the part where is it Rachel? You know it's not real.
Yeah.
Is it? Question mark.
So she's my favorite cannibal as well.
I love it. She's a fine young cannibal.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Can you believe? Are you going to stick around and polka dance with us?
No. No, absolutely not. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to you guys.
There's so much from the Peanut Gallery.
The only one I know is we're from the town with the great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There you
Nice.
go.
See, that's
See?
what we have coming up next. The Yajagoff polka band, the Palastros. Yajagoff late night.
If my younger self could see me doing these things now, I wouldn't believe it. To be a steam fitter, you need to be a problem solver. You can do instrumentation, hydronics, chillers, rigging, HVAC. I have this wonderful opportunity to grow my career.
It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are. Over 100 years, and we're just getting started.
Hey all, it is Jay here at Rohrich Mazda. So for many of you that might have got, I don't know, glasses or contacts and just don't quite remember this very cute face, 2 dead giveaways. You know, just look for the bow tie or look for me carrying the Starbucks. Many of you have got to share some coffee with me. I just wanted to kind of reintroduce myself, but more importantly, express my gratitude. October has always been a big month of gratitude for me personally on a way that I can thank all of my customers throughout the years. Anything that you would like me to address, whether it be with your current vehicle, a future vehicle, I'm always here to help. And I think that is the key differentiator. Mainly this video is just to wrap up to let you know this face is still here to help. So if you need anything at all, I'm a phone call, an email, or a text message away, guys. It's always a pleasure catching up with you, and I really look forward to kind of doing this throughout the future to stay in touch with you all.
Rach, I have to vent. Here's my dryer vent. This one time, I had found a lead press-on nail in my dryer stuff, and it was not mine.
Vom in the throat. One time, my kids left Kleenexes from one of their worst whooping coughs in their pocket.
Guys, you guys are such jagoffs. That's not the type of dryer venting we're talking about. We professionally clean your dryer vent to increase your dry time and save you guys some money.
For 4 hours. Like 10 pounds
you
wet.
Jagoffs, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
People used to celebrate hard work, the spirit of the underdog. You don't hear too much about those things anymore. The world needs more problem solvers, people who know results matter. Folks with brains and elbow grease. Our work runs through just about every office building in the city like a network of veins. It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are.
John and Rachel, Jagoff Late Night, and we are in our music segment now.
And we are in our glory.
Right, because it's the Jagoff Polka Band that we've always had at the Pierogi Festival, but there was no Pierogi Festival.
So we brought them here
without
pierogies.
Jeff and Greg Palastro, welcome to the new Jagoff podcast, huh?
Well, thank you very much.
You guys have stood in the rain at Sorgel's. You guys have stood in the heat at Kennywood.
Yeah.
This is a little
more. We were at the reverse parade last year.
Reverse.
My
That's
antlers
right.
were blowing off.
Right.
Yeah, and now here you are. So what do you guys do when it's not Oktoberfest season? You're still performing. There's such a need for polka, right? In Pittsburgh.
There is, but it's coming back after COVID. COVID kind of really squashed it.
Really?
I mean, it was a little hairy before COVID, and then COVID kind of squashed it. But this year we had a pretty good year.
Okay.
But we still rehearse. You got to stay on top of your game.
But you guys are just 2 of how many in your group, which has a really long name?
There are 7 of us now.
Okay.
There are 5,
Yep.
6 accordions, drums, and bass.
Okay.
And then it's the Western Pennsylvania SNPJ Button Box Club.
There you go. I know it's like a
better
cue
known
card.
as the Yajagoff Polka Band.
Yeah, that's right.
I so much like it. And by the way,
the
your
crazy
CD
Palastro
is on the
Brothers.
Yajagoff.com store, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So.
And I love it when people order them.
We do
I'm
too.
not kidding. I'm like, this is great because there is a need. I mean, Pittsburgh truly knows polkas. All right, so we get to hear one of your songs, and we're really excited. But before we do that, we want to know, did you bring us something for our junk drawer? And is it John Chamberlain related? Because you all play hockey together.
Yes.
Yes and
yes
no.
and no. I had a feeling. Okay.
Oh, you mean you each brought one? So
we actually brought you 2 things from the junk drawer.
Cool.
okay.
All right. So Jeff is holding a Western Pennsylvania Button Box Anniversary Jam Fest sticker.
Oh,
This is from the 1980s.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Wow,
That's
it's very well
that's an
preserved,
antique.
like you. All
And
right.
This is a patch that used to get sewn on the shoulders of the members.
Okay, it's an accordion
uniforms.
patch. Yeah,
Yeah, so this is actually from like probably the 70s.
Whoa! Also
That-
in very good condition.
Very good condition.
Also,
Oh, wait, they just keep pulling out junk drawer gifts.
if you,
I love this.
you may or may not have noticed it while you were interviewing the other
Yeah,
people.
we heard this
I
last
was the,
week.
I was the mad clapper.
Yes, you were.
So I brought you one of these. You
Oh,
can,
we get to keep that?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I feel
we
like
don't
that's
have to
an
put that
OG
out in the
clapper.
audience. Yeah.
That
I
is
like
a great
it.
one.
I like it.
So if people really do want to hire you, how do they go about that? Should they? Are we your agents? They come to the
Absolutely.
Yajagoff.com
Message
website.
us.
You can do that, or you
Okay.
can call 412-279
Yeah.
7755.
I feel like that's a fake number.
number
That's a
again.
Brady Bunch
Yeah.
number.
No, it's
Remember on the
not.
Brady
No, it's
Bunch
not.
when they
Call
used to do
before
that?
midnight and get some
I'll tell
turtle
you,
wax.
here's how crazy it is. It's a landline.
Yeah.
Stop it. Do not
It's a
text.
rotary phone.
Yeah.
All
my
right. So,
God.
how about
Have you
that?
been to my house,
What-
John?
What are you guys watching as far as episode things? What are you guys watching?
Is there a series?
Yeah, I just finished Wheel of Time, the second season.
Okay.
And I've started the third season of Upload.
Okay, I
Monica
don't
should
know
be
that.
hosting
Monica's,
this instead of
she's
me because
shaking
I don't
her
know
head,
any
yeah.
of this stuff.
All right.
All
your
right.
turn.
I've
So-
not gotten to season 2 of Wheel of Time yet.
Okay.
And
So you kind of tell each other what to watch.
well, we kind of have the same
You
weird
do.
interest.
It's a polka
But-
thing.
I'm watching Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Again.
All right.
But
Okay.
only the first 5
The
seasons.
repeat. All right.
I'm not gonna watch.
All
the-
right.
Listen, we are going to give you guys a couple minutes. We're going to recap our parade, and then we get to come hear you, and we'll accompany you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right. Stay with us on your Jagoff.
All righty.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoffs.
Happy holidays to all the viewers out there, and a Merry Christmas.
Come to Daddy.
All right, man. Merry Christmas, you Jagoff.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoff.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoff.
Merry Christmas to you, Jagoff.
It is the Not Your Average Holiday Parade. You Jagoff. Year number 2 at the block at Northway. Look at Jamie. Look how happy she is that there's no rain.
It's a Yinzer day at the block Northway.
All right, here we go.
Woohoo, we mean business. Katie has her tech face on. I'm scared. Are you guys ready? 30 seconds start.
Hey, it's John and Rachel, and it's the Not Your Average Holiday Parade. You Jagoff.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be John and Rachel if we weren't late. You know, Santa always gets a really cool chair. No, Pittsburgh, a parking chair.
All right, guys, so we are hanging out at the Mancini's Bakery tent. We have Nick Mancini out.
Bring your head in a little more so you can take a selfie station here, right in the bread.
Jen, who does middays on Q92.9.
6,000 like beer so bad now.
I tailgate all the time. This is actually
Because they brought coffee for everybody.
They're smart. Here, Kristen is here to tell us.
Kristen from Q92.9 as well. So, Kristen, you've been hanging out at your tent with
Merry Christmas, you Jagoff.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoff.
So we got Grammy Award winner, Pittsburgh-born, Pittsburgh's own, and of course Guinness as well, right?
It is, yeah. It is. What's going on, man? It's your boy Frizzy. We are out here. Merry Christmas from your boy, myself, and your Jagoff. You're good out here. Don't be a Jagoff. Say hi to Clanna for me. You know how we do. It's your boy Frizzy. Holla.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoff. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoff.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoffs.
And we do a lot of demolition derbies, which these guys won the Golden Quill Award there in Los Angeles.
From the Most Wanted Car Club. Merry Christmas, you Jagoffs.
Merry Christmas, Jagoff.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoff.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoffs.
Oh, should we open them right now?
Video's exact.
At made it.
Oh my God.
A big Christmas escape that has happened right here in this parking lot.
Christmas, you Jagoff.
The night before Christmas.
Oh, I'm going with the pickle.
Merry Christmas, you Jagoffs.
Giant head guy. It is Santa Claus himself.
Well, I love Pittsburgh. I love the children of Pittsburgh. You know, kids ask me all the time. They say, Santa, what do I need to do to get on the nice list? And I say, kids, it's very simple. There's only 3 things you need to do. You have to listen, say your prayers, and tell your folks you love them every chance that you get. And if you do that, you're sure to be on my nice list. Now,
Welcome back, John and Rachel, Yajagoff Late Night, and this is the end, the crescendo. We won't call it the end. Right. It's the crescendo of the show where we get to polka. I mean, who says that regularly?
We missed you guys, right? And we have to say thank you to Rohrich Automotive, say thank you to Dryer Vent Wizard, and say thank you to
People's Gas, as well as the folks who were on, Sally Wiggin, such a treasure, Dave Hanson, another Pittsburgh treasure, and Matt Light, who did sneak out because he's prepping.
Light, which is what you drank in college.
Yeah, right.
All right. Jeff, what are we listening to?
We're going to do a waltz this time, since we always do polka.
Excited.
So this is called
All right.
Charm Me Your Beautiful Dark Eyes.
That's what I thought it was.
Do it.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.